If you're a chronic people pleaser like I have been, I'm going to give you some revelations to see if you are indeed a people pleaser. And then I'm also going to give you some experiences of mine. And then I'm going to give you some ideas of how to overcome them and what I've done to overcome this characteristic of mine that is so ineffective. So, people pleasing is when you contort yourself so you can get approval, when you neglect your own needs, your own values, your own integrity so that you can feel safe, so that you won't be abandoned. But what you are really doing is abandoning yourself. And it is so chronic, it is so deep within me that I have had to spend the last year undoing and creating a new way of being. And this is going to be kind of like what it looks like. So, years ago, I remember getting on a boat, and my boyfriend at the time, who turned into my ex husband, my future ex husband, he, he said, "Hey, you can live on the boat for $100 a month." I'm like, "Oh, that sounds like a deal." And then as soon as I stepped on the boat, I can't do that. And as soon as I said, I can't do that, and I did it anyway, I gave away my power. I abandoned myself for 10 years and actually longer than that because everything was what he wanted. And I would just remember contorting myself. And it wasn't just with him that I contorted myself. I contorted myself with my job and my career and my volunteer activities. Oh, let me do this so that you can like me. Let me do this so you will approve of me. Let me do this for you. All the while neglecting my financial, my emotional, my mental, my physical needs just so I can get a little bit of love. Is that what you do? Because if it is, babe, it's time for you to change that program. And what I've done over the last year is I have sat in silence. I know not a lot of you have that opportunity to do, but when I did that silent retreat of my own, where I just started observing how I showed up in the world, let me do this so I can get approval. Where was I in that? Where was where were my needs? They weren't anywhere around because I ignored them, because I wasn't taught how to show up for myself. And I've had to learn through friends and family members who actually and truly love me what I can do to show up as my authentic self. So I stopped doing a lot of things that I used to do to get approval. And it was really interesting to see how many of my friends fell away because of that, my friends. And and what people would do. And I'm just saying it is not an easy thing to overcome, but I want you to start observing yourself. And in your practice today, in your spiritual practice, I want you to start writing and journaling about how you people please, how you show up in the world. So, and what values do you give up, your integrity, so that you are okay, that you manipulate and control and you lie and you're not honest. And I know because I've been there. And so now I'm spending a lot more time just being present. And if it just doesn't feel right for me, I'm not doing it. Just saying. That's what I'm doing. And I hope that that's what you're doing too. So if you have some questions about people pleasing, if you want to talk a little bit more about it, what I will tell you is I want you to put something in the comments below. Yeah, I want to learn more about it. But what happens is when you abandon yourself, you it, you're a fake person. And one of the most important things that I have done, and I'm going to give you this example, is I started setting boundaries. And my boundaries are for me. They are not for the other person. I am not setting boundaries to keep people out. I want to keep people protected from me. So I have been alone for 5 years, but really alone. I've been practicing being present with myself for a year to find out what my likes are and what my dislikes are, and what I'm willing to do and what I'm no longer willing to do. And I want you to think about doing that as well. Today I'm reading from The Language of Letting Go on people pleasing. Excuse me as I'm out in the country right now in North Florida. Have you ever been around a people pleaser? They tend to be displeasing. Being around someone who is turned inside out to please another is often irritating and anxiety producing. People pleasing is a behavior we may have adapted to survive our family. We may not have been able to get the love and attention we deserved. We may not have been given permission to please ourselves, to trust ourselves, and to choose a course of action that demonstrated self trust. People pleasing can be overt or covert. We may run around pleasing over others, chattering a mile a minute, when what we are really saying is, I hope I'm pleasing you. Or we may be more covert, quietly going through life, making important decisions based on pleasing others. Taking other people's wants and needs into consideration is an important part of our relationships for sure. We have responsibilities to friends and family and employers. We have a strong inner responsibility to be loving and caring, but people pleasing backfires every single time. Not only do others get annoyed with us, we often get annoyed when our efforts to please do not work as we planned. And the most comfortable people to be around are the ones who are most authentic. So if you like this content, please it will help the algorithm. I want this message to get my message and our message to get out to others about how we can show up for ourselves, how we can begin start making those unconscious programs in our life more conscious, those thoughts and our feelings. And when we can make them more conscious and more loving, we can have a more conscious and loving world. And just subscribe, like if you enjoy my content, and I'll see you later.